Hello, I'm Kendra, and here at Hooked by Happenstance, it's time for another installment of Freaker Frog. What is Freaker Frog, you may ask? Well, today it is a slightly congested version of my series where I go through, find some whips, and decide whether I'm going to freak out and add them to my on the hook list, or whether I'm going to frog them and take that good yarn out of bad projects and put it into good ones. So first, I thought I'd give you a little update on the drawer. For those of you that are new, this drawer is hopefully where all of my whips will end up being housed. For right now, I've tried to fit all of the whips I know of in here, but we've been working a lot on whips that have not fit in the drawer quite yet. Today, however, we are going to work on this bag because I'm going to be frogging with a purpose once more, and I'm fairly certain I know what's in here, and it's something that I need. So firstly, this bag says Gypsies on the front, and it is from a store where I used to sell some of my crochet goods. But this store has unfortunately closed, so it does not exist anymore. So I have like a limited time Gypsies bag now, which I think is just super cute. I carried it as a purse for a while. But inside of here is this yarn. Now, 2 years ago, I'm fairly certain it was 2 years ago, for Antique and Junk Fest in Barnes, I went and I vended, and it was a very, very slow day, and I had taken a skein of Wildflower Super Saver, and I want to say this is Light Orchid, maybe, Super Saver. Here's the rest of the skein. It doesn't have a label on it. And I had started this blanket previously, like earlier that week, and I had done like this much of it. And then I just grabbed the hook that was next to it and the yarn and threw it all in the bag and did like all of this while I sat at the craft show. And I had lots of time to crochet because I didn't have a lot of customers. The hook I picked up was smaller, and so the tension is not right on this blanket. Not to mention, I just don't really have a need for this blanket. I'm not exactly sure why I was making it. Like, I feel like when I started it, I had a good reason, either a person in mind or something. I just don't remember what it was. So, I need the rest of this wildflower yarn to finish off my We Hook Wednesday pouches. I have one pouch left that needs to be made in the wildflower yarn, and I ran out. So, I'm going to go ahead and frog this so that I can have my yarn back and put it into a project I know the purpose of that I want to complete. So now I'm off to do some frogging. And there is the frogged blanket. This one took a while because I had to wrap the skein first, which meant I had to, I've been pulling from the middle, so then I had to unroll from the outside of the like saggy little skein to roll it up, and then this went pretty quick. Though I will say that frogging and balling striped yarn is kind of interesting because you had to go back and forth, and I managed not to get it tangled. So, one of the things that I think is kind of important is to keep in mind what you have previously worked on and probably not finished. I am fairly aware of what whips I have out there. I mean, obviously there are bits and pieces that I don't remember, as you have seen as I open things up, and I'm like, where did that come from? But when it comes to like big-ish items, I tend to know that I worked on them, or as soon as I open them, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. So I kind of have an accounting in my head of what yarn I have in stash, and I know what of that stash is being currently held within whips. And by doing that, I can save myself having to go and buy more yarn or make choices I don't necessarily like in yarn. Like, I knew I had this yarn. I could have bought another skein when I needed it, but instead I was like, okay, let's go find the whip and get the yarn out and turn it back into something that we really, really want. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. It helps other people find me in search. On the screen next to me, there is a link to the Makes Monday video this week, as well as something YouTube has decided you would enjoy. In the description box down below is a link to my Etsy shop if you'd like to help support me so I keep making fun, free, crafty content. And I will see you all next time. Bye!